You have Tony and McGregor, and then at the end they fight each other.
Yeah.
At least one of them is going to get a win.
Well, I would tell you this: there will be unbelievable buildup because Tony will not back down from Conor in any of the shit talk. You know he's going to be after him and stuff. Tony's real, but I'd look at it and I'm being honest. I don't think Conor truly wants to fight anymore. You sit there and say what he wants, but he's making big money. It's not like money's ever a problem. And when you look at getting yourself back into the gym and fighting, training for that fight. I'm not saying he's not training. He trains now, and he'll go in the gym. But it's fun to go in the gym when it's not training. And you're just, you're sparring with someone, anything. That's all fun. That's not what a training camp is. A training camp sucks. And I look and I go, I'm just not too sure. And when you don't have that 100% focus, things don't go well for you. And I think Conor has a ton of advantages over Tony. I'm just being honest. If they fought in the stand-up, Conor has slowed down. You can't say that he hasn't. There's a little bit of a marked difference in his speed, which creates a difference in how he's able to get in on guys. But Tony has slowed down too. So Conor would be fast for Tony. But if the fight hits the ground, Tony can create a lot of problems for him, and Tony will create problems with just the funky style and things that he does. The kicks of Conor, we're going to see what they are. I would tell you he has an advantage there. But after coming off of the leg injury, it might not be an advantage because it may hurt him to kick with that leg. It's an interesting contrast. I'm not too sure that I see the UFC doing it. But I would think that, Conor gets more spark off of Michael Chandler than he does off of Tony Ferguson.
I would agree with you that he gets more spark off the Michael Chandler thing, but I also think that they really are trying to get him a win.
Okay.
And I actually think Tony beats Conor, though. I think the ability...
Possibility.
Because a lot of it comes down to the leg. The movement will be the same. Like you did say, he did slow down. Tony has slowed down also. Sure. But Tony... the funkiness will give Conor a little bit of a problem, like the moving around, the switching the stance, the punches, the kicks coming from different angles.
Well,
now
just
Conor's
a guy that'll switch into an Imanari role at any time.
Yeah,
that's Tony. Tony will do the funky things that a lot of guys will not because they don't want to have Conor in a position over him. And you look and you go, Tony doesn't give a shit.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't care at all. So when I look at that fight, I'm like, obviously, I'm gonna lean more towards Tony just because of the inactivity. How's the leg? Conor's coming off 2 losses. He's a very confidence-driven type fighter. Like he needs to have, I dominated, or he's got to have the trash talk to go along with all the wins that he's accumulated. Whereas Tony, I think it gets in his head that he hasn't won a fight in a while. But he also is someone that he does things that not everyone can do. His fighting style is very funky, and that's going to pose some problems for. And I think in that clinch, and I've said this before, that Conor McGregor in the clinch is not a great fighter. Tony in the clinch is a dirty dog.
Yeah,
he will elbow the shit out of your face. He will knee you. He will try to shuck you down and guillotine you. He will do whatever he can in that clinch. He's a dirty, grimy, not like a dirty as in meaning to be, but he's a gritty, dirty fighter in there. He's after it. He's not fucking around. And he'll do anything to cut you up. And I mean, I got scars, man. My hair's balding because of it. At least that's what I like to blame it on. Okay. But I've got scars all over my head because of him from one fight. I mean, if he goes back to a little bit of them elbows and that clinch and that griminess, Conor against the cage, you take away all of his weapons. He's so worried about defending the takedown, and he doesn't fight well in a phone booth. He fights well at distance. He's not the same fighter, and I think that's the way you beat him, and I think Tony has all those tools to do it if he fights smart. We'll see.
Yeah, see, I look at it, and I think Conor has the advantage of the fight. And just coming back, there's been some time. Yes, there are some questions about the leg and things like that. I think Conor's going to win that fight.
But John, I have a plate in my leg.
Yeah,
I can't
know you
kick
do.
with. I couldn't kick with it anymore.
Right.
There's nothing. I've got 9 screws in a plate, and I couldn't kick. I used to rip the body kicks in my first Gilbert fight. After I broke it, I couldn't kick anymore to the body. It hurts. Anytime you hit with the foot, anytime you hit with the toes, I was almost like it was almost like a calf kick. I couldn't put my
Landing on
foot
you.
down.
Yeah.
I couldn't put my foot down all the way. I had to like just kind of limp on it for a little bit if I caught it wrong. So I just stopped kicking with it because the last thing you want is to show your opponent that you hurt yourself there. It's painful, you know. So, but I agree that Conor should have the advantage.
Yeah.
But what Conor are we going to see after the plate? Will he kick as much? If he doesn't kick as much, he had a big advantage with the kicks. Then, if Tony fights smart, if he gets him against the fence, if he grinds on him, hangs on him, tries to get to the guillotine, you know, elbows and knees and clinches and just grimy and make it dirty like that, I think that Tony's got the advantage. So it really comes down to who can implement their game plan to see which one of us is right. Come on,
True.
Tony, don't let me down. Don't let me down, Tony. Plus, I'm a Tony fan, so I gotta root for my boy here.
I'm obviously a Tony fan, but you just take a look and, you know, time takes a lot away from guys, and it's tough to keep those levels up.